The maniac is on the podcast. Welcome to the Krusty Kast, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome.
I am
Hi.
also on the Krusty Cast, and my name is Jasmine.
Yeah. My name is Maddie. I am evil.
What?
Yeah.
Since when? You didn't tell
You never
me.
told us that.
Since
You
now. I don't know. We'll
you
see.
didn't, you didn't tell me, Gwen,
Oh,
who's also on the
He's the
podcast.
maniac.
Yeah.
I'm Randall, and one of these episodes is definitely better than the other one.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but
hmm
let's just say fans of EDM are in for a treat, I guess.
I don't know if they're in
EDM
for a
and
treat.
EDM and weird environmental music.
Yeah.
That
Let's
one's a
just
ways
get
away.
started, I guess.
All
So
right, yeah.
today we're talking about Hall Monitor and Jellyfish Jam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just starting with Hall
someone do the
Monitor.
bubble.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
I'll click it.
Yay. Okay.
No, we're not at the bad episode yet.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Alright. So how's this start?
It starts off in
Well,
their
it starts
cool.
in the title card with the fucking music from the pilot that they cut from the full cut of Help Wanted.
Yeah.
It's
But-
this weird jazzy tune that's just
Yeah, that's weird that
they
that's
have it
there.
in this episode, then they brought it back in fucking season 8 with the introduction of a Chief Fublubber character. And
So this is kind of a Chief Fublubber leitmotif.
Yeah.
yes. If I ever start writing for SpongeBob and write the real Chief Fublubber episode, I should specifically request that they include that song in it.
Alright.
You have lofty aspirations. So this episode, Hall Monitor, it actually starts in Mrs. Puff's boating school. And
Everyone's
the
asleep.
first thing we see is like the shark incidental guy, but he's naked, and it's very jarring. I just want to point out.
Oh, you're right. I didn't
Mhm.
notice that. But everybody's asleep. They are bored of this.
Except SpongeBob, who's just full of beans as always, because he loves driving.
But Mrs. Puff decides that somebody needs to be the hall monitor today.
Okay, so did any of you have a hall monitor at your school or schools?
No.
I did not.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Maybe.
where did this trope like come from? Because it was so like common in the '90s on cartoons. Was it like a thing that they used to have in schools?
It feels like something that a writer who went to school in like the 70s or something would have, but just assumed that, yeah, this is a thing that kids growing up in the 90s and early 2000s would have, because Jimmy Neutron had a hall monitor episode too.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what like being a hall monitor actually entails. Do they just like skip class?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
You
sure-
gotta monitor the halls.
I'm pretty sure like Fairly Odd Parents season 10 has a hall monitor episode, which is really
The
funny.
weird thing is, like, how often does the boating school even have halls? It has halls in New Student Starfish, but
it doesn't
I think
here.
that's like the
Yeah.
only episode where they have hallways. Usually the doors just lead out of the building.
Yeah, there's like a scant few episodes where like the boating school is like an actual school, and then most of the time it's like an actual like driving school where it's just a tiny little room.
Yeah, I think it's only in the Patrick and Boating School and the Flats episode that there's actual like other rooms to this boating school.
Yeah, whenever
So-
they want to do like a school plot that they would do on like another cartoon, except this is SpongeBob and he's an adult. They just kind of pretend this is an actual school.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Puff sees his name on the list. She also sees a Bart,
Yeah.
which I thought was really funny.
I would not let Bart be the hall. Actually, he was pretty good at being the hall monitor in that one episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Simpsons
yeah,
Hall- I have never seen the Simpsons Hall Monitor episode.
Me neither.
it was like a subplot, so that's fair. Anyway, we get a lot of funny incidental voices as all the characters would be like, "No way, Mrs. Puff.
He graduated.
I was 3 times already." And SpongeBob just keeps.
I
getting
love
closer and
SpongeBob
closer.
just sliding towards Mrs. Puff in his
Yeah.
Yeah.
face with like
And we got this
The
frame with the
fucking-
legs.
I didn't want to mention the legs frame.
Okay.
Really good few episodes for seeing the characters spreading their legs.
Yeah.
And so Mrs. Puff says hall monitor for the day, and then she follows it up with like hall monitor for the week.
Yeah.
Which one is it, Mrs. Puff?
I didn't notice that. I feel like it's supposed to be for the day, and they messed up the writing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they only go to school once a week, which I guess would make
I
sense.
sure hope someone got fired for that blunder.
You know what? That would make sense that this is only a 1 day a week kind of thing now that I think about it, because
Yeah.
SpongeBob's got a full-time job.
Yeah.
You can't be going to school every single day.
Anyway, SpongeBob, like, she acquiesces and lets SpongeBob be the guy. He just fucking takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes it
Yeah,
way too
I just
seriously.
love Mrs. Puff's. All right, I guess I have no choice.
Yeah. Mrs. Puff, we don't see her, like, that much in this episode, but I, like, absolutely love her. And I think she is, like, just my favorite, like, foil for SpongeBob, even more than, like, Squidward, honestly.
You're
Mrs. Puff's a really good character. Like,
you're onto something there. I think
Mhm.
Mrs. Puff just like Squidward is actively like antagonistic to SpongeBob, and I think all of his other foils are too, but just like having one that's generally just really tired and not like outwardly aggressive towards them is like
Whoa.
a really fun thing to
at
have.
least not until Demolition Doofus.
Someone who's just kind
Yeah.
of passive-aggressive and just kind of, like,
I wonder if that's what makes Demolition Doofus feel so weird. That, like, most
mhm.
of the time, Mrs. Puff just seems exhausted more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the episode, she lets him do the hall monitor thing. He starts giving a big speech, and I want to bring up, he turns to the audience, and first of all, there's no exit door anymore. He's trapped them. But also, there's this guy on the left here, left middle, who really
Yeah, he was
likes
loving
it.
this.
Yeah, he loves it.
I noticed that too. All the characters are, like, upset and, like, confused by this, but this guy is into it.
Yeah, this guy.
I
This
mean,
guy's like, I'm
as
so
long
happy
as he
for
doesn't
him.
have to learn anything, sure, he'll deal with this.
That's what I was
Is
thinking. If
that
this
the-
happened while I was at school, I would be so thrilled to just get a day off.
Wait, is that the hey I doubt it fish right there, or is that a
Yeah.
different one?
That's him.
I think that is him.
Well, look who had to come back.
Well, yeah. And so
gotta
SpongeBob
spice-
does this for 6 hours.
Yeah. This episode, we get a lot of use out of Tom Kenny's, like, deep hero voice.
Yeah.
In the hall.
In the hall.
And I like this bit. It's kind of funny, just SpongeBob being so honored by such a menial nothing position.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like
Yeah.
about just how SpongeBob is portrayed. He's having so much fun in this episode. He's so into it. He just gives so much energy to this and really makes you believe that being a hall monitor is something great. And it plays off Mrs. Puff so well, who's so, like, world weary and just wants to get this over with.
And he becomes Chin
I
Bob
love-
in this segment.
Yeah, Mrs. Puff just gets such good lines here. You can't make this easy, can you?
I think about that all the time.
Gosh.
Like, it's been a long time since I've seen this episode, so I think some of the jokes hit harder than they might have otherwise, just because
Yeah.
this isn't really an episode I think of much, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Mrs.
I mean,
Puff to me is
We'll
like the
get
most.
talking about it, but
Mrs. Puff to me is like the most. This is a person in this universe. She's not
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
exaggerated personality. She's
Mhm.
just like someone who's doing her job and has to deal with someone super annoying.
She's just a
Especially
guy.
early especially early Mrs. Puff. She's just very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, SpongeBob spends
We
the
have
whole.
to make our fucking SpongeBob main characters tier list.
We can, yeah, I think we can do that like in that wrap-up episode of the season.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Anyway, SpongeBob spends the whole class monologuing, and everyone just like leaves and tramples him. And SpongeBob's like, "Ah, yeah, I overdid it with the speech." And Mrs. Puff is like, "You sure did." And she like shakes her head, but like shakes her whole body, and her face is massive. Out. It's either this scene or an earlier scene, but you saw that, right?
Mhm.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, we get like a very like. I think this is adds lots to what I like about Mrs. Puffin is how like understanding she is in this whole sequence where she like sees how bummed SpongeBob is that he wasted his hall monitor day, and like lets him have the uniform.
Yeah,
She, like,
she's actually kind of compassionate here.
Yeah, she knows that SpongeBob is just a kid, basically to her, and she just he's annoying and he ruins her life, but he ultimately means well, and so she can't help but feel bad. But then she like immediately regrets it after she does something.
Yeah,
What are the consequences
I'm glad
of what
Maddie
I've
just put
done?
that quote on screen. What are the consequences of what I've just done?
But see, that's
She's so
That's-
good in this episode. But I think the lack of Hall becomes pretty apparent in the Hall Monitor episode because, like, when
Oh.
SpongeBob gets ready to patrol the hall, he's just going out onto the front porch.
yeah. Do you just put on an outfit and just sit on the porch while class happens?
Yeah. So SpongeBob goes
Oh,
out
yeah,
onto the
also
streets.
before we move on,
Yeah.
I need to mention that Mrs. Puff she keeps pronouncing his name SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Bob.
She like puts emphasis on the wrong part, and it's so jarring.
SpongeBob.
I guess
SpongeBob.
you know that maybe like yeah.
It like really like was noticeable to me. It feels like this is like
Yeah.
the first like they didn't like tell the voice actors how she was supposed to say his name yet.
Mm-hmm. And so SpongeBob goes out into the city and walks along. And I noticed there's a on one frame there's a marker like smudge on the cell. That's just something I noticed with like frame skipping and stuff. Anyway,
Reality is breaking. Anyway, SpongeBob sees like a traffic jam and is like, I can monitor things besides the hall. And we get the funny sequence where he does traffic for like a minute or so. Cute little sequence of traffic related visual gags that ends with him just like
Fucking it up.
destroying everything.
Yeah.
We get the
It-
second my leg.
Paramount says my legs plural, so I think he got hit super hard with that one.
I think Paramount doesn't know what they're talking about because this is a classic Fred moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, second my leg, historic occasion, not as historic, but also it's notable that so far my leg has only appeared in like driving based episodes.
Yeah, you're right. Fred's all. Wait, up in. If you really think about it, up until now, all of Fred's appearances have been driving related in some way.
He was a very boat focused character, I guess.
Yeah, there was the one in the Nematode
Excited
episode.
to bring this up in SpongeBob histories.
And so SpongeBob's walking down the road next to a really rusty wall, and he sees like a pile of, or just like a puddle of pink goop on the ground.
No, wait, no, you missed the open window maniac. This is like
Yeah.
Oh, I
From
thought that
the
was. I thought that was after. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
he sees a couple with an open window, and the couple's like, "Whoa, a seaweed medley, dear," which is another
I love how that line is delivered. More seaweed medley, dear.
a lot of good like minor one-off character voices in this episode.
And
Anyway,
SpongeBob,
SpongeBob does the most insane thing he possibly could, and just like jumps through the window as like pretends to be the maniac.
he's
scares
an
them off
open
so they
window
know.
They
maniac.
left themselves susceptible to danger.
Just
God.
wants to teach them a lesson about closing their window. So he has to prove that leaving a window open is dangerous by being the problem, which I just think is such a deranged scene, and I think is a very funny joke.
Yeah. Then he just closes the window for him. That was nice of him to do after breaking and entering into their homes and
He had to set a good
traumatizing them.
example.
Yeah.
Gotta set a good example.
Anyways, now he meets Pink Goop.
Yeah.
And his first instinct is to just run his fingers around it and just taste it.
Well, he is a cop. He needs to do investigation.
Yeah.
And then, like, a cascade of pink goop falls on him. This is a really leaky ice cream.
I've had ice cream cones like this. It's summer. Anyway,
And Patrick, just as he does.
I love the sequence of Patrick, like, thinking the ice cream is talking to him. He just, like, kind of looks at it concerned. Very good. What was the episode where SpongeBob thinks he turns Squidward into ice cream?
Hocus
Hocus
I think it's
Pocus.
called.
Very good hocus pocus of foreshadowing.
And Patrick, just as he does, sitting on top of a wall, eating ice cream.
Classic boy activities.
So yeah.
Honestly, I just really love Patrick in this episode.
Yeah.
He's really
And
good in this one.
It's another of those episodes that just makes me go, man, Patrick kind of fell off.
Yeah, this one, he's, like, not the, like, chill older brother type bad advice mentor
not
anymore,
really. Like,
He's more of just like the big dumb oaf, but he's like a very cute and lovable dumb oaf in this episode.
I think we're effectively
Yeah.
past that era of Patrick.
Yeah.
Now we're in the funny dumb guy era of Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
which I like. This is where you get the funniest Patricks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get most off his classic lines. I love this episode where SpongeBob like tells him he was doing a crime and he's just like, I'm a bad person.
Yeah, just like guilt tripping
Yeah.
Patrick and treating him like a felon.
Yeah. I love this because it's kind of just like SpongeBob roping Patrick into his little game of playing cop.
Yeah.
Patrick like takes up the role of being like the reformed criminal.
Yeah.
And
so good.
then-
another
Yes. This guy
Yeah.
comes up.
Yes, my favorite character.
here you go,
Take it, friends.
Arm
Arm yourselves with knowledge.
I think this one might be my favorite like one-off background character. In all
It's so good.
You know what? Of all the minor characters they need to bring back and just make a weirdly persistent thing on the show, they should do it to this guy.
Yeah,
Bring back
Hashtag
Extry.
Extry.
That's his name.
just like weird Tom Kenny smoker voice news
Okay,
fish.
How do you like love and find so funny just the outdated, this little newsy boy Extry trope, and then he just like talks.
Arm
he does a
yourselves
weird
with knowledge.
Arm yourselves with knowledge. Maybe that's much.
I love him.
And then they notice that this maniac, they need to put a stop to him.
Yeah, I like SpongeBob being like, "You're an ex-convict." to Patrick.
Yeah.
What would you do in this situation? Go for ice cream.
And they go get ice cream, and then they do it again, and it's sort of like, this isn't working. It's
Yeah,
very
they go
funny
for
little
snow
bit.
cone.
Yeah.
Go for
Yeah.
snow cone?
Go for snow cone.
And then they split up, and Patrick is left on his own. Which,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
SpongeBob,
So
you
actually,
shouldn't
I
do.
watched a pretty recent episode, like earlier this week, and in it they brought back the newsboy fish, but there's two of him, and one of them's yellow.
What?
What
What?
are the more implications here?
Put this on screen.
SpongeBob Newsboy Fish.
What the fuck is going on here in general?
Hold on.
SpongeBob and Patrick are trying to reunite the stars of their favorite comedy show. I
What-
think in an earlier episode they were depicted as a cartoon, but now they're just real people in this episode.
What's the implication of like a sentient urchin? Is that just like a rat man?
Whoa.
I-
Whoa.
Maybe?
I don't know.
They did bring him back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they brought back like his shiny colorant.
Yeah.
It's Sonic Adventure hero story or
Honestly,
dark
this
story.
was probably the best joke from that episode. I liked it. It's just the same shit happening to both parties at the same time.
But this is another
The rest of
example.
the episode was pretty whatever, in my opinion.
It's another
It was
example of them.
definitely not. It
bringing it
wasn't
back.
Patrick's best showing, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That's
But
to be
I like
expected.
how Sideshow Melkor, the snail guy, is.
I love Sideshow Mel.
Oh
So-
yeah,
Police.
they were yeah, the police. This is the first appearance of the hot dog policemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys suck in this episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They
the first appearance of cops, and they're just like complete asshole bullies. So the show was on the money.
Yeah.
A1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the moral of this episode. Anybody who is law enforcement or tries to be law enforcement only fucks things up for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
true. SpongeBob more like sponge based.
We get like this classic like comedy type setup where Patrick's trying to he thinks he's one of the cops because he's playing a game, and then they're like, "Why are you a fucking weirdo?" And then we get the classic scene of them showing him the wanted poster with the maniac, and Patrick just being irrationally scared of the sight of it. And they start picking on him by hiding it and showing it really fast.
And then we get the really bad quote that bad people on the internet use all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna brush over
God,
that, but we
yeah.
can't ignore the fact that these cops are responsible for one of the most reactionary SpongeBob memes.
The one that you can only assume will 100 times out of 100 be used in bad faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're just liking torturing Patrick here.
Yeah, they're just assholes.
Cab.
It's great. A-cab.
Yeah.
Anyway, they
Yeah.
leave. Patrick is just freaked the fuck out. And he's like, SpongeBob. And SpongeBob's like, ha, rookies. SpongeBob is so funny in this episode, just how into this he is. And then I love the joke where Patrick, I think it's gonna become, and then it's just night literally falls with a big clang.
Dark.
GBA Sunset Wilds and Mario Kart Tour. Have you seen how they handle the sunset effect in that game? They literally just rotate the entire sky and suddenly it's night.
Awesome. Now we get the climax of the episode with the classic standing there
Woo-woo.
menacingly scene.
We get
Yeah.
the wee woo.
Oh yeah, the wee woo.
Woo.
A lot of classic bits in this. No, this also
SpongeBob and Patrick antics episode.
yeah.
Given there's not any Squidward in this one, they're just kind of bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, it's very cute. We don't need a wet blanket here because the wet blanket's already at the beginning and end of the episode, I guess.
This is I looked it up. This is the first time in 4 episodes Squidward hasn't appeared.
Oh wow.
Anyways,
Don't
pretty
worry,
Squidward
Squidward
light.
fans. We'll see him again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we sure will.
Squid Nation, rise up.
So he's standing there menacingly.
Yeah, we get this very stupid fucking climax where Patrick has to be unaware that this is SpongeBob, and SpongeBob has to be unaware that he's talking about him, and it's a very goofy comedy of errors type scene, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's running
I
all
love
over the place.
when Patrick tells SpongeBob to hide under the street lamp, and he literally just lifts the whole thing up.
Yeah.
The maniacs in the mailbox.
SpongeBob just loses it and just starts running around. He starts breaking through all of the weird metal cylinder buildings.
He becomes Mail Bob.
Yeah.
He becomes Mail Bob, his ultimate form. This had better be an alternate costume in Nick All-Stars Brawl too.
Yeah.
He gives him
Yeah.
super armor.
He fucking breaks the entire neighborhood, and then he sees the wanted poster. He's like, "Hey, this guy doesn't look that bad."
This
The
guy's
classic-
not half bad looking for a maniac.
The classic joke you say when you see yourself on a wanted poster.
Yeah, I mean,
Then he
now that I'm thinking
realizes.
about it, he specifically branded himself as the open window maniac, so they kind
Yeah.
of see his branding.
He should have. He should have realized they're just respecting his title. Anyway, he realizes he's the maniac, and every cop in the city immediately shows up,
Yeah.
and then also Puff shows up.
I'll
Mhm.
take that as confession.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Puff like SpongeBob. And then she like confesses to giving him the uniform, and then realizes she shouldn't have done that. And then
It takes full responsibility for it too.
yeah, my
Yeah.
responsibility. And so
And
the
then-
episode ends with our first of many Mrs. Puff arrested moments.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is a video on the SpongeBob YouTube channel.
She's in the TV now.
Starting a long lineage. She's giving her boating school from prison.
I'd like
know,
to
this is
see
pretty
you
ahead of
after
its time.
class.
She's like
6
screaming over Zoom.
months from now.
This is just like this is what every teacher did in COVID time.
Yeah.
SpongeBob COVID. They did have. It wasn't meant to be the COVID episode. They produced it like shortly before COVID, but
Mm-hmm.
then COVID happened, and the episode from season 12, the quarantine crab, just felt really weird, and they just wouldn't air it for a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. It's just weird that they made that episode literally.
I can't believe SpongeBob saw into the future like Simpson.
Just like Bart. Just
Just
like
like Bart.
funny Bart.
Bart from
Funny
this
Bart
episode.
Simpson. Rude.
The joke of rude.
Bart.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Hall Monitor. What did we all think about it?
I think
And,
it was
like-
a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it.
I kind of love this episode. Jasmine, you go
Yeah.
first because you're on the left.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you could go first to buy me more time, but if you insist. Yeah, I think it was a solid episode with just pretty consistently funny, pretty great characterization for SpongeBob and Patrick and Mrs. Puff and the rest. I do think that, and this is like a small nitpick, but it is something that bumps it down from like an A to an A minus for me. Is I think that towards the end of the episode, it just feels a little too much screaming and running around, but
Yeah.
that's just like a small note, and I think it's otherwise a pretty great episode.
Yeah.
Maddie?
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I gave it a 6. I think it's pretty much like really good. I can't find many flaws with it really. Like it's I agree that it does get it does meander on some jokes a bit too much, but like
Mhm.
in general, it's a really good episode and a really good, despite her not appearing in it much, a really good Mrs. Puff character episode, I would say.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like love this episode. I gave it a 6 as well. A 6 out of 7. And I just think like something this has a lot of like every scene made me laugh at least a little bit. You know, all the jokes
Yeah.
work well, and I think what really like ties the episode together to me is how like what a good like character episode it is as well. With like SpongeBob's like over enthusiasm driving it. He's very like likable, even though he's doing all this like insane bad shit. It's just like you can't help but love what he's doing because he's so like into this role he's made for himself in this game he's basically playing. I think
Yeah.
Patrick was great. Mrs. Puff was great as well. A lot of like classic jokes and a lot of like jokes that I didn't remember until watching this episode. It has Extry guy, so that bumps up a point on its own. I just kind of
Yeah.
love this episode.
On the subject of Extry guy, I was looking at him a little more, And apparently he also shows up in the Patrick Star show with another shiny variant.
God.
Really?
There
Alright.
he's
You
orange.
think this is like a species,
It's like
maybe?
Perkins. Yeah, they have this whole species of poor little orphan newsboys.
Mhm.
God. Just like Britain.
I originally gave this one a 5, but talking about it here, it made me bump it up more. I
Same.
realized that this episode is just like it's just really consistently funny, I think, and for as limited as like the main cast we get in this one is, I think it's they utilize them well. Having Mrs. Puff being at the beginning and the end and not really coming into play at all is it's kind of smart to just have SpongeBob and Patrick carry the majority of this one, I think.
Yeah.
So SpongeBob can just like do his antics. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Newspaper Fish did also bump it up for me too.
In a Flash game, there's also a green newspaper fish.
Holy shit.
This is untenable.
Oh my god.
I like to think these are his ults in Smash.
This
His
is-
ults in the Nick All-Stars Brawl 2. He's gonna be one of the DLC fighters.
We're gonna have
Hell,
SpongeBob
yes.
season 15, SpongeBob in Newsy Boy Land.
Yeah.
God.
There he is.
They're like the world's
Extreme
most fucked up
defense.
stoplight.
Middle segment.
Yay.
Okay.
Who wants to introduce our famous middle segment?
I think
I
Maddie
think-
should do it, because
yeah.
she's the person that looked for all these things.
All these
Yeah.
treasures.
There's someone here who wants to say hi.
Oh? Oh. He's
Yeah.
disgusting.
There
Hello!
he is.
Can we
There's
put
the
him
object.
outside, please?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just put him over here. There we go. So I was
That's
I was
better.
looking on Amazon last night for like SpongeBob stuff. Let me get some of these. So we've got oh, already I found a new one that I didn't see before.
Alright,
Smug
show
Plankton.
us. Hello, Smug Plankton.
Here we have Alpha Group SpongeBob SquarePants movie mini plush,
Yeah.
6-inch plankton. It's a plush of plankton from SpongeBob with his classic smug shit-eating grin.
Yeah.
I think
We
I
have
think this one actually looks okay. I think that one actually looks
Yeah.
alright.
we have wedding like boyfriend girlfriend necklace for SpongeBob Patrick.
This is like actually so romantic to me.
Yeah.
But Patrick, what if I betray your trust someday?
Those are their
Oh,
wedding
no.
vows.
What else is on
Look
here?
for-
We got
You know, another thing I've thought of as a hypothetical if I ever write SpongeBob, I think I'd need to write that conversation into an episode.
It's gonna happen someday.
Gonna be on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's gonna have a good thumbnail to it.
Character and TV balloons and party SpongeBob's Patrick-shaped balloon. 26-inch foil balloon.
As we see, we get some nice balloons. We have, the Patrick balloon is pretty good. The SpongeBob balloon is like was pillow shaped and squished.
That's,
Kind of
that's like a
horrible.
Like a bag of chips.
That's Tube Bob.
And here we see a man.
Yeah, that's just a man.
With whimsical elf shoes on.
This one,
That's
though,
from
that's
the
SpongeBob.
episode Slimy Dancing in season 5.
This is adult SpongeBob. This is what SpongeBob will look like when he's grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's growing with his
here's-
audience.
For reference to for anyone not looking at the screen right now, because I want to put in some description for people who are looking at
Oh,
the
yeah.
screen. The last two were just a couple of Halloween costumes, and one of them was a guy wearing like a SpongeBob. We can like still see his like head and everything. But the other one is a full body SpongeBob suit that just kind of looks even more horrifying somehow.
Yeah.
How do you even
We've
see
got
out of
the
that
spring.
costume, by the way? Are there any eye holes in that one SpongeBob costume?
I think the eyes are translucent, so you can
Yeah.
kind of see. But good luck not getting hit by a car still.
Here we have SpongeBob hoodie, I guess, with a
Yeah.
yellow
SpongeBob
like
hoodie.
jumper, but the hood has SpongeBob's face on it.
What is this?
In case you
Oh,
wanted
that's the Krusty Krab.
a gold painted Krusty Krab to put in your aquarium, I guess they have that for only $11 on Amazon.
Why do you want this in gold?
I found a birthday card, but I misread this as like I didn't see the 4.
Guess what's inside you? Oh. Okay, so it's
Congratulations on the tapeworms.
SpongeBob, and he's riding a big jellyfish. He's saying, "Hooray! Guess what's inside for you?" But it's very easy to not
This
read
is
the 4.
clearly the adult man SpongeBob's offspring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
here's
Sponge
Yeah.
Boy.
here's a tinier. Here's a children's SpongeBob costume where you see a child's face poking out of SpongeBob. He's
That
Canadian,
is also
apparently.
from Slimy Dancing.
Oh, this is some disgusting Patrick hat. It's like some inflatable balloon hat of Patrick. He has very stubby arms. His face takes up like his entire body. He's
That's
making
Who's
like
this
I
guy?
hate looking at this.
I like looking at the Patrick hat
Wait,
because
this
it
is
kind of
awesome.
looks like a Slow King crown.
This is so raw.
this is like trans mask Patrick. You get Patrick like keychain of Patrick with like eyeliner, wearing a hoodie, eating ice cream. And he kind of has a lot of swagger. He barely looks like
Yes.
Patrick though.
Oh,
Yes.
Probably could
Yes.
mistake him for one of those South Park motherfuckers if I'm
Yeah.
being blunt.
That's what I was thinking of. He just kind of looks like Goth Cartman.
God.
We have a very macabre Friends Forever t-shirt, and it shows Squidward, Patrick, SpongeBob skeletons. Just so you have a twisted sense of SpongeBob humor. There's like a beautiful lady, and she's wearing a tank top that has Patrick's face on it.
Huh? Hello. Okay. Mike's version.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful man who's wearing like I don't even know what you'd call this, some full body hoodie
Yeah.
that
Is it
has
like the-
Patrick's
He's gonna do
face on the
Patrick-
hood. We have a man being devoured by
I'm
Squidward.
so sad my mic doesn't always pick up my laughter because my reactions to some of these.
Mhm. God.
This is how Squidward's gonna look in 2014.
We've got Boxer's SpongeBob's face haphazardly placed throughout it. They're called Crazy Boxer.
I
Sure
went to the
is.
page of this one, and yeah.
Color name burger.
We've got burger,
Hold
blue,
on.
Krusty Krab pizza, SpongeBob holidays, and yellow.
Zoom in on that first one because I'm curious. Because
You wanna
I
see-
think that's like
Hold on.
You wanna see
Yeah,
burger?
is that
Uh,
the same art from one of the DVD covers? Oh, no, it's not. It just kind of
No.
looks like that render.
Yeah.
He's in the patty vault. We see like Gary with terrible inflated cheeks.
That is a
God.
terrible Gary render. I hate that.
Oh god.
Yeah, just boxers with a very detailed image of Patrick, Gary, and SpongeBob playing in the patty vault. Well, Squidward's like, what the fuck?
They're trapped in the Boxers dimension.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh my god. This is a classic custom Bob Sponge, Sony PS4, DualShock 4, PlayStation 4, wireless controller.
Oh.
Why is he-
Look at
Why is he downtrodden?
Yeah, why is he
Control-
upset?
We get some controller mods. Here's some Xbox One mods where the decal is SpongeBob's face, but he's very upset. We got
So
8-bit
retro.
Patrick, so retro.
Oh god. There's so many. I saw the
Christmas is
SpongeBob
right around the
Patrick
corner, so here's some ideas for you.
Yeah, if you want to get
True.
us at the podcast anything, we're just giving you suggestions.
Send
I'm-
us the Squidward suit.
Oh, I got the I'm getting Mario Wonder from Amazon when it comes out, so I'm
This
probably gonna get the evil plush.
crashed on me. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Oh,
It's
welcome
okay.
back.
Hi.
We were looking at this awful picture of Squidward being caressed by very excited SpongeBob and Patrick.
SpongeBob Patrick.
What is
Oh, this is
Pat-
awesome. We have
Yeah.
a Christmas ornament. It's Patrick. He's in a sailor suit, very cute. He's
Yeah.
sitting on like a big straw chair, sipping some green drink, and he looks very content with his life. Maybe a bit tipsy. This is like the happiest I've ever seen a fictional character. Perhaps I'm very happy for him.
I want to live
I
his
see you
life
have
in that
Retro
moment.
Patrick here.
God. And
Patrick's
so right
still in that
next,
sailor suit.
right next to the
Looks great.
evil SpongeBob, we also have the Patrick, who is very fluffy.
He looks almost cute, but his face is so like terrible and concerned.
Yeah.
He looks like he's like knows he has like a really like stressful doctor's appointment tomorrow, and he's just very like it's like weighing on him the rest of the day when he's trying to have fun. Oh my god, what is wrong with Squidward?
What's wrong with all of them? Let's do the roll call here. We got Mr. Krabs over there, and his eyes are going in like the wrong direction for
Eyes are
either
literally
side.
crossed.
We have large inflated Gary who is really
Oh my
afraid.
There's a variant of the Gary Fletcher. He's
Oh,
grinning,
no.
and it looks disgusting. The teeth are just kind of like stuck inside him.
And
You
we've
know,
got-
this Patrick Fletch is pretty cute.
Then we
Yeah.
have insect Squidward.
His like
Looks like a
eyes are
bug.
like tilted, so they look like angry or something, and like, oh, this looks bad.
Yeah.
And they're yellow too.
God.
I love memes.
You can
I
get a
love
SpongeBob
memes.
chicken sticker if you to represent your favorite episode that you watched, Little Yellow Book.
Yeah. Evil.
Everyone loves
oh.
that one.
We got a double.
Oh. Okay, so we have another SpongeBob plushie, very unlicensed and off-model, whose cheeks are like stuck up by his eyes. His grin. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like someone like carved a pizza, and this is like the gash of tomato sauce.
This
And to his immediate left, you get like SpongeBob's head with pink hair, I guess.
the SpongeBob on the right looks like they made a plush out of the Revenge of the Flying Dutchman model.
God. None of these like unlicensed Mr. Krabs plushies are coming out well at all. They cannot
Finally.
like give his eyes the structure they need.
Ah!
Oh, here we have disgusting buff SpongeBob with like watery, dewy eyes and a huge slasher grin, and his best friend Buff Patrick, who's like awful and bulbous and disgusting.
Is there a buff Squidward? I hope there's a buff Squidward.
God. I can try to find it, but I don't think so.
Here's what I like about that SpongeBob plush there. He's wearing his shirt as a belt.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Now your child can feel like a fairy tale baby too with this fun, strong anime companion. Your little anime fan will have plenty of adventures with this muscular novelty, Patrick Star Toy. Made of very soft and comfortable ferret.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Okay,
Well,
so
I'm sold.
they skinned some ferrets to make this. Linky Box? Linky Box SpongeBob?
What?
So here we have the cast of Linky Box with their SpongeBob. We have Thick Shark as Patrick. We have Boxy as Mr. Krabs, which is kind of a Mr. Krabs plush, but his mouth is Boxy's face. Boxy is Sandy. I don't remember the rest of the characters, but they're here. They look awful.
Oh.
Do you all even know Linky Box?
I
No.
know of Blinky Bots. I know that like it's a terrible content farm
Yeah,
thing. But I didn't know it had characters.
Oh.
it has characters.
Oh.
Oh.
You know, the terrified gasp is a good sign. Oh,
You know, this is awesome. If I saw this guy in real life wearing that, I'd be like, hell yeah. This
Why
guy
is his-
knows fashion.
No
to be-
way!
Okay,
No
first off, what I was
way.
talking about was there's like this face covering, but it's Patrick Starr's like mouth and pants. But even more important, we have rare
Larry.
merch. We have Larry, and we have girl
Snelly?
females. We have girl female snail who's a girl.
That's
Is
Squidward
that the one?
snail.
Is that? Hold on. Is that Snelly?
I think that's Snelly.
Is that Snelly from everyone's favorite season 3 episode, The Great Snail Race? Yes. Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
I want all of
What's
these.
a polka dot? What's a
No,
polka
yeah,
dot?
no, yeah. Snelly's the one that just got put on screen. That's more blue with a pink bow. The polka dot one is the girl female snail, I think.
Yeah, this
Okay,
this
let me
page
double check
lists
the
it
fucking
as
snail
Mary.
from. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was my first instinct, but Mary has like lips, which aren't there. So... Oh wait,
They're
she
very
does
small
have
pink
the
lips.
Never mind. I couldn't see them from this angle very well, but you're right.
Yeah.
God, I want all of these. I don't want
Hey.
that. I don't want the Patrick, little bulbous
It's
Patrick baby
Patrick.
with
It's baby Patrick.
from
Yeah.
fucking Camp Krusty. I don't want him. I don't want this awful dumbbell shaped Squidward mushroom.
That's Reddit word.
We did
Yeah.
Reddit word. Yeah, it's basically imagine the Reddit mascot. Now imagine he was Squidward.
Mhm. So this Squidward looks pretty good, right? The only
Yeah.
problem.
Oh my god. I mean, his feet are kind of weird also, but
Oh, that's
Yeah.
disgusting. Take that away from you. Okay, so Squidward's feet are fused here. A very
The-
normal looking
the
Squidward.
fucked up-
Please scroll down and see that Diddy Biu here. His feet are all fused together,
Okay, here's the thing.
and he's
The
also
fucked up-
$80.
The fucked up Squidward plush from earlier also had fused together feet.
I imagine it's a very efficient way to make a Squidward.
Yeah.
I like the one in the
You-
middle. He looks so content. It's a
You
Squidward, just
too,
he's sitting
Squidward.
like the world's most patient and calm dog, basically.
You too, Squidward?
this is from the upcoming episode where Squidward and Patrick swap brains.
Yeah, that is Amazon's choice right there. I'd choose that one too.
Oh god. This is a disgusting array. Squidward
This-
is the most deformed. They have an awful large burly plankton with incredibly detailed wrinkles and big black splotches on his antennae.
We
Yeah,
have Gary.
the
We have
Patrick-
Gary with the analog
Is
YouTube.
that how much this terrible array costs?
Yes.
For the smooth price of $101, you can get
Whoa.
oh god.
This isn't
Oh, no.
SpongeBob. What the hell is this?
Huh?
Oh,
What is
can this be
this?
our channel mascot? Okay, let me describe this for the viewers at home. This seems to be a Goomba, but if instead of a mushroom it was a sea anemone, and it had really sick looking sneakers and a cool belt that had the letter X on it.
And a vampire fangs for some
What's
reason.
What is this product called on Amazon?
new
Let me go
SpongeBob.
back. I already navigated off the page. It's where it dis. Oh, there it is. Hold on. It's $23. I think it's a guy.
Ken Carson. Beautifully.
Let me look up
Oh,
a
this-
picture of the guy.
He's so polite.
God.
I mean, that one
Oh.
doesn't look too bad.
Oh, is it-
American
oh.
rapper and record producer.
It's if Ken Carson, the beloved rapper, was a Goomba. I can see it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I hate his Mr. Krabs plush with it's supposed to have the shine effect on his pincers, but it looks like there's mold growing on them.
Oh, this one doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it's probably the best Krabs. He's actually
Yeah, that's-
cute. I think this
yeah.
one's official though, so that makes sense.
Oh.
And I'd buy this.
Yeah, I'd love
Very
this
cute
one.
and friendly looking Krabs. Luigi,
Green Mario. Green Mario.
Green Mario. He looks very
Mario.
ready to kill.
Yeah. SpongeBob. That's not SpongeBob.
Can we while we're on the topic here, can we like post the images of like the bootleg SpongeBob DVDs too?
Which ones? Like
I'm
like
trying to think of them. I know the ones that Pat Mac talked about in his video. Those ones were really good.
Well, I'll just search up SpongeBob DVD and post the funny ones, even though they're all gonna be like official and stuff.
A
Like,
day with a SpongeBob.
Oh, let me look up that actually. Yeah. The day was Sponge. Is it even up anymore? Maybe.
Probably
Okay.
not.
Okay,
No.
look up the Persian SpongeBob DVDs.
Okay, hold on. Persian SpongeBob DVDs. Please fill the time while I'm. Whoa. Stupid.
Yeah.
So did you all see the picture I posted on Twitter of the... Never mind, we can talk about this.
We have like elongated SpongeBob with his doing a backflip with his
This
face
looks like
located on
official
the
art.
top of his head. And
I love
stupid.
I love the Squidward in the logo up in the top right.
Hold
He's
on.
so downtrodden.
God. We have
Hold on.
a very scary image of
I can't. There we go.
large and claustrophobic SpongeBob and Patrick
Goomba keeps
shoving
getting in
Squidward
the way.
into a Krabby Patty.
Maybe
we
it's
go.
trying to shield us.
Yeah.
Sandwich
There.
Oh,
friend.
sandwich friend.
Yeah.
Sandwich friend.
We're gonna eat him.
This is a
What
horrific
episodes-
ritual.
What episodes could possibly be on that sandwich friend
What?
DVD?
Angry Bird? So we have like this image.
It's an episode from season 91 called Small Squidward, which is exactly the same as Giant Squidward from season 6, but he's small now.
So this
God.
one, SpongeBob is conjuring a tornado, and there's jellyfish around him. But if you look really closely in the middle, you can also see Angry Bird. And this is,
Yeah.
of course, the classic SpongeBob DVD Family Holiday.
I think that's based on the main drain
Yeah.
Yeah,
seems-
family
you can,
holiday one.
you can see the main drain in the like corner there too. I think this one just seems like is this just like a comic cover for SpongeBob? This seems too well drawn.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like well drawn, but really not looking right at the same time.
Yeah, but I could like kind of expect that from like a comic cover. Anyway,
Hey,
Hello.
that was our
why is he back
Amazon
here?
journey. Some
Yeah.
good presents to buy for your loved ones if you want them to die and suffer.
Yeah.
But if you want them to love and cherish you, get the SpongeBob Patrick necklaces. I mean, I'd get those.
Yeah.
I
I
me
really
personally,
might.
I want the giant moldy crabs plush.
Yeah. Giant moldy crit. Let me put
Did
him
I
on
miss
screen
that
again.
one?
He's here.
What was... Okay, yeah. Okay, I
Yeah,
saw
this
this one.
one.
Yes. Awesome.
God.
All right. Now
All right.
get
Onto
to the,
yeah.
the fun part of this episode, I guess. We have now reached the point of the episode where it's almost over because we've come to an episode where there is very little to talk about.
Yeah. Jellyfish
Yeah, this is-
jam.
I think this might be... Like, I wrote more notes than... More notes than the other two of you, but this is probably still the fewest I've written for an episode, and lots of this is like within the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I tried to keep a consistent note-taking pace throughout the episode. I kind of forced myself to do it to the point where I just wrote down in my notes just things that were happening on screen, so I'd
Yeah.
remember what happened in the episode.
Yeah.
So this episode starts off in the classic season 1 way of like Jacques Cousteau, Tom Kenny French narrator voice giving his nature documentary spiel about, oh, this is the SpongeBob, this is little jellyfishing, and it's pretty played out by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of like these intros.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of them in season 1, but I enjoy them.
This is the first time we also learn SpongeBob's out here jellyfishing. This first time we learn that he wears the glasses specifically for protection.
So SpongeBob, at some point, yeah, he closes his eyes and he does this, and he's happy.
Oh, it's gross.
I don't like that. Anyway,
See,
move on.
And then SpongeBob he catches a jellyfish and extracts the jelly from it, and we get a separate Tom Kenny French voice for SpongeBob.
It's
I
so
noticed
weird.
that.
Yeah, I want to know why he did the French accent there.
Like, he's doing the same, like, Jacques Cousteau French voice, except that's already the joke of the narrator that just happened. So why did he do it again?
Milking the jellyfish like a cow.
He milks the jellyfish. Very fun cowboy moment.
And I think it's just funny that this episode posits that jellyfish jelly has like a fruit flavor to it.
Yeah, I never really questioned much of the mechanics of jellyfish. Like, yeah, jellyfish, they have jelly.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
bees making honey, except you milk them like cows. I do like this little jellyfish in the opening part. I love him walking. I wrote this in my notes as just Toad School. I feel like this is the first episode where the jellyfish, like, have their codified design of, like, being, like, their bulbous, like, pink with dark pink splotches
Yeah.
on them.
We don't get any of the, like, non-dotted ones from this point onwards.
The naked ones.
Yeah.
But I noticed they were a little pointier in this episode than they are in like later appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially in, like, the walking over here. You can see the point.
Yeah. We get a silly little Looney Tunes visual gag sequence of SpongeBob trying to make the jellyfish go away, and it just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Shoots it out of a slingshot.
Some good expressive SpongeBob animation and some fun characterization for this silent, faceless character. And this might be like my favorite part of the episode. It's just such a cute scene, and SpongeBob gets won over by this little thing just not leaving him alone. And he makes a very cute face.
And here's where the episode loses me, because like we'll see later on. We never really get any scenes of SpongeBob and the jellyfish like bonding beyond the big EDM party later.
Yeah, we get like then we go to like
yeah. I
next...
think that's what this episode needs. Like more SpongeBob jellyfish bonding.
Like, what if all of his other friends met the jellyfish?
Yeah, we get like the next scene where he meets Squidward and he says "Squidward-yard," which is a line
that's
that always stuck in my
mind.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, we get another like kind of cute scene where like he's having the jellyfish do tricks for Squidward, and he like plays dead by burying himself and shits in the toilet.
I didn't need to see that.
Yeah, this is basically the end of like cute SpongeBob jellyfish pet scenes, because after this it just becomes SpongeBob jellyfish dance party for like 2 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I counted it. It is literally 2 minutes worth of.
I do like the obnoxious setting on there.
The obnoxious setting is a good little minor gag.
It's not actually something I noticed during the episode, but now that you've put it on screen,
Yeah. The scene kind of hurt my eyes.
Yeah,
honestly, this
that's a
time
big
around.
problem with the episode. Is this part like actually like hurts to look at? I imagine like if you have epilepsy, you have to just not watch this episode. It's enough to like give me a headache.
Yeah.
If I try looking at it too long. Like we get some fun like animation. I like how like 90s this whole thing feels with like the EDM music and all the wacky visuals.
Yeah.
It just also is kind of a bit much and also goes on for a long time.
It just
Those
really
are some
feels like
flashing lights in this one.
oh hey, how do we kill 2 minutes of this jellyfish episode? Let's just have them like dance to techno music for like 2 minutes.
I feel like they did not have enough like ideas to fill out this like SpongeBob befriends a jellyfish episode, and so just kind of
Which is weird
fill it up
because
with very long song sequences and shit.
because the thing is, I think that this episode could really benefit from like more SpongeBob jellyfish bonding sequences.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
really like the first two bits we get with them. I wish there was more of just like SpongeBob playing with the jellyfish and the jellyfish being like a funny little weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do like the cutaway to Squidward and how he delivers for 12 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's roughly how long this sequence lasts, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I will say we do get more pants room dimension in
I
the
hadn't
music
noticed, do
song.
we?
Yeah, kinda. It's like funny background. There is no floor, but like
I think that's more like theme song room dimension.
true. Yeah.
The EDM can't reach the pants room dimension.
SpongeBob eventually has enough of his dancing and makes the jellyfish. He ties it up and makes it go to sleep. Then the jellyfish invites some friends over.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I don't. Here's where the episode takes like a total nosedive. Everything past here
Yeah,
is like really miserable to watch.
yeah. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the one who was kind of thought this was just in a word miserable.
Like
Yeah.
it's just the rest of the episode is just like these jellyfish just like messing with things, and it's not especially funny
Yeah, they're
or
just like
fun to watch.
they're just like
Yeah.
playing loud music and breaking stuff and hurting people. And
Now-
it's not like played in a funny enough way. They're like a few like fun visual gags with all the jellyfish as a group. Like there's the part where they make make a staircase for SpongeBob to climb up. That's pretty funny. Most of the time, they're just like
Yeah.
kind of these little fucking things being bullies, and it's just not that entertaining.
Now, Maddie,
Yeah. This
Yeah.
scene's just really long. It needs to be
You-
replaced by more SpongeBob jellyfish bonding earlier in the episode, which I think would just pace the thing better and also be
Now-
funnier.
Maddie, you foreshadowed something before we started recording. Something about SpongeBob in this episode in particular.
How did I word it? I might be for completely
Something about how
forgetting.
SpongeBob talks in this episode.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's later on in the episode. Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not much to report on here. The jellyfish are like fucking up SpongeBob's house.
Mhm.
That's literally
that
all
was-
the scenes.
It was so upsetting to me seeing them just like break his shit. Like, come on.
Like, and we don't even see the actual jellyfish he brings home again.
Yeah.
Like, that is such
Yeah.
a non-factor for the rest of this episode.
They just kind of become a collective.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, then we get like Squidward. Squidward also kind of doesn't help with this part being miserable because he's just kind of like. I feel like this is one of the least funny Squidward appearances, especially early on.
Oh yeah.
He just kind of feels like an asshole here. He's not like trying to help. He's just kind of also being a loud, obnoxious jerk.
And
I did
honestly-
kind of like SpongeBob's line of, "Would it be possible to play your clarinet a little
better.
better?"
Yeah, that's a funny line.
One thing I do like
Is
about
that
this
he'll play
episode.
better?
One thing I do like about this episode is SpongeBob's coat, his like
Yeah.
nightgown.
Yeah. We get a lot of SpongeBob panty shots.
Yeah.
And talking about Squidward and how every character in this episode just has a huge hi-fi stereo system in their home.
Yeah.
He hooks up to his clarinet, I guess.
I
I could
do
get one.
I do like this specific scene where they immediately switch to like digital animation for like the pineapple like bouncing around.
Yeah. That's
I
pretty
always
funny.
thought this part was just weird to me as a kid.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like noticeably off.
Yeah.
it looks like something they try in like season 2, where they try to
Yeah.
animate like a static painted object. They just
Anyways,
don't have
yeah.
the technology for it.
It feels like that scene in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4, is it? Where SpongeBob bursts through the wall.
Well, that one was intentionally weird for comedy. This is just like something I'm sure they were trying to make look good.
Yeah.
Anyways, Squidward gets fucking killed by the
Yeah.
jellyfish for being bad at music.
He changes his
Honestly,
shirt.
my
Yeah, he
take
changes
is
his
I don't
shirt.
think they exaggerated Squidward's pain enough there.
Yeah, that's a problem with these
Mhm.
jellyfish slapstick jokes, especially at this point, where like it just feels like mildly painful, like painful without being like funny. Just kind of like
Like,
regular
I
bee
think
stings.
Like
Yeah.
a better.
you go forwards to I'm your biggest fanatic in season 2, and I think at that point they had it figured out.
Yeah,
Like, if you want the jellyfish attack to really like feel big, you do what some other episodes do and just like have a giant like shock effect come out
yeah.
of like the window or something.
Yeah.
And then Squidward comes by his house and he gives up his clarinet, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
That Squidward just like, instead of, I don't know, trying to go against him again, he's just like giving up.
He gives up his like favorite clarinet, and they break it and set it on fire. It's so mean, and not even like in a fun way. It's just like,
And this one EDM song
I do
plays
like
through the
Squidward.
entirety of this episode until like the last scene.
right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another like big problem with it. I hope you really like this because you're gonna be hearing it.
I hope you're a huge Stadium Rave A fan.
Yeah. So we get
Now imagine that on loop
SpongeBob's.
for like 8 minutes.
We get SpongeBob's
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
breaks
Yeah.
the he breaks the music player, and then the jellyfish
Yeah.
get fucking pissed, and they chase him to the roof. And I guess this is the first appearance of SpongeBob Roof.
Mm-hmm. And so, kind of like at this point, when the jellyfish are like swarming around and like threatening to attack and stuff, is when I think SpongeBob like starts talking not like a human. Like when Gary starts doing the funny thing.
Yeah,
He's like, they stopped, and it's like you're not speaking like a human, buddy. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like he kind of stops sounding like. He just sounds like he's playing voice samples out of his mouth.
I think
I
I know
don't
what you
know.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds
Yeah,
some very unnatural delivery here.
Yeah.
I do
Anyway.
like SpongeBob saying, "You were right, Gary. Thanks for not rubbing it in." That
Yeah,
was a little funny.
that's good.
Mhm.
And so,
Gary
we
makes
have
a
to
weird
explain this part.
Gary
That's
makes a
gonna be
weird
fun.
noise with his eyes, and it's like a metronome, and it calms the jellyfish down. And
Why
SpongeBob,
is Gary doing that?
I don't know. I was confused if it's supposed to be like his version of like clattering teeth, or if he just like is doing this because he thinks it'll calm it down, or what.
Mhm.
It's not very well explained. Probably because Gary is a snail and doesn't talk. Anyway, SpongeBob
Yeah.
finds out that the Gary music calms the jellyfish down and like uses Gary to lure them away from his house. And as he's doing that, all the other like various sea things start like playing along, and we get a very fun little musical number. It's a da 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 da.
Yeah. And he goes
Yeah,
into the
I feel like
jellyfish
that's like the
fields.
main thing I remember from this episode. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's the episode with that cute ending music scene, and I think that's because there's like nothing else to remember about this episode.
Yeah, it's kind of a void between the opening and then this. You're just kind of like waiting for this the whole time. It's your payoff for sitting through all the miserable
yeah, isn't
EDM
actually-
breaking shit moments.
this is an actually good, like, catchy song that you'll remember, but the problem with this, it's just like it goes on forever, and there's not an ending to this episode.
This is like, yeah, this is the second like 2 minute long song sequence in this episode that barely has anything happen in it.
Yeah. And it
And
just
then-
ends.
It just ends with the
Besides
jelly.
a lot of profanity.
Yeah, the song, I don't know how they aired it with all the swearing in it.
Yeah. So yeah, the dolphins go fuck, and then the tube things are the bass, and the clams are the la 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 la, and there's bubbles come out of the chests,
The
And
anchors, the chain
yeah.
shaking, like chicka
Yeah.
chicka chicka.
and then
One thing I want to mention is the really terrible looking, like, SpongeBob standing in front of, like, the looping jellyfish animation,
Yeah, that looked-
and there's like a dozen
Yeah.
of them.
Looked fucking awful, the very last shot. And then
God,
there-
yeah.
The narrator concludes by saying wild animals can throw wild parties, and that's the end of the episode.
This one
Which
was
I
also
guess-
definitely done digitally.
That's
Like-
that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
That looks terrible.
God. Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, what a fucking episode.
This is the
And
first
then-
one I can conclusively say did not have a plot. It didn't have a beginning, a middle, or an end to it.
I mean, the beginning was SpongeBob befriending the jellyfish. The middle was the jellyfish breaking shit, and the end was he puts the jellyfish back. I guess there's technically a 3-act structure here. It's just nothing happens during any of the acts. Oh yeah, no, the ending is. I forgot the actual ending was Squidward like taking a bath.
And the
God.
narrator saying, "Oh, I felt that," which
Oh, I
is
felt-
weird.
yeah.
Why did he say that?
Yeah, what the hell? Buddy.
Yeah, I also felt that line was weird.
It's not a very good line. It's not a very funny ending joke.
Yeah.
Another like
Yeah.
another it's jellyfish episode ending with a unfunny joke about Squidward being hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we've talked about everything in Jellyfish Jam. How
That
long did
only
that
took
take
like,
us? Like 10 minutes?
like 15, 20 minutes tops.
Oh my god.
God.
We need to do better. We need to summarize the whole episode in less time than it takes to watch the episode.
You want to try that? I can give it a try.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so SpongeBob. So SpongeBob is going jellyfishing, and he milks a jellyfish. But then the jellyfish really likes him and wants to be his pet. And SpongeBob's like, "What the heck?" He takes it. He shows it to Squidward, and he shows all the tricks he can do. But Squidward isn't impressed. He's like, "What are you gonna do with the jellyfish?" It turns out what he's gonna do is he's gonna have a dance party with the jellyfish for 2 minutes straight with awful flashing lights. And then he's like, "Jellyfish, it's time to go to bed." And the jellyfish doesn't want to, but SpongeBob makes him. So then the jellyfish lets in a bunch of other jellyfish, and they have a big wild party overnight and start breaking everything and fucking torturing SpongeBob. And Squidward's pissed off. He tries playing his clarinet to drown it out, but then the jellyfish fucking get him and attack him. So then SpongeBob has had enough and ends up breaking the music player. And so the jellyfish get pissed off, and SpongeBob is scared. But then Gary plays his Gary music. And SpongeBob realizes that the jellyfish love music, so he can lure them off with Gary. And then he lures them off with Gary as a song plays. And then the jellyfish are dancing in jellyfish fields, and the episode ends.
Awesome. And that's the episode. I think you did it in less than
Yeah.
11 minutes.
Yeah, that. When you put it that way, not a whole lot happens in this episode.
This feels like a.
I
like
mean,
a
I think
reflow
I
episode
think
to
we've
me.
established that, Randall.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to, like, we have to keep saying things, but what can you say about this except nothing happened?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think there's some I think there's some fun sequences in this episode, but there's not enough. The story isn't substantial enough to support the episode's length. This could work as like a season 5 short, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of
but-
have season 5 short energy to it.
I can definitely see
Does.
that.
Mm.
So, what's your ranking, Jasmine?
I gave it a 3 out of 7. It's like it didn't actively piss me off while I was watching it, but it's a pretty nothing episode, you know? I like the beginning sequences with like it's solid for up until the rave sequence, I think, and then it's a whole lot of not a lot of happening.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave it a. What did I give it? I gave it a 3. It's like, it is a SpongeBob episode where things happen, and it's not. It's not horrible.
things
but
happen?
It's, debatably.
Things debatably happen.
It's enjoyable, but with a very quotation marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very bare bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gave this
Like-
episode a 3, which is a little high, considering how much I've been, like, tearing into it this whole time. But, like, this episode has, like, it has, like, entertaining parts for sure. There are like sequences I like. It's just there are also a lot of sequences that I dislike.
Mhm.
But, like the things about this episode I like and are enjoyable are like enough for me to put it at a 3. I think like a low 3, but like it's not like an awful episode. There's definitely like some solid good parts. If you just like skip like the whole middle, you'll
It's a shit sandwich with good bread.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I gave this one a 2. I don't like this episode. This is my least favorite one. I like this less than Jellyfishing because
Mhm.
at least in Jellyfishing it felt like, I mean, nothing was really funny in that episode, but nothing was really funny in this episode. But at least in that one you had Patrick there also, and it didn't just feel like
Mhm.
only
Yeah.
like 2 characters in this
Episode was-
episode.
Yeah,
That's
I
weird.
think that's sort of an issue with this one, which SpongeBob just has to bounce off the jellyfish
Who doesn't have a character and disappears halfway through the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Very bare
Yeah.
bones episode.
Generic
it's just
jellyfish
really-
that doesn't have a name.
See,
It's
and I
just
give
an
it to
animal.
because it's just boring. It's just a boring episode. Like
Yeah.
you could just like you in this 30-minute block just watch Hall Monitor. You don't need to watch this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
You
look
can
look
skip
up the
this
like
one.
you can look up the song on YouTube at the
Yeah.
ending song.
And listen to
God.
Stadium Rave A on loop for 8 minutes. You get the same experience, I
Yeah.
think.
But would you get Squidward at the end of not Squidward, the French narrator at the end of the episode saying he felt that?
Probably.
Oh yeah, you're right. This is the
Hold
only
on.
episode to have 2 separate French Tom Kennys in it at the same
Oh,
time.
if you love French Tom Kenny, this episode has so much value.
But even then, that's only in the beginning. You can get your fill right at the beginning and just ditch the rest of the episode.
If you like Tom Kenny not sounding like a human,
I want to see like an 8-minute cut of this episode because I think a lot of it is expendable, and I feel like if you like just cut it down a bit, it might be more enjoyable.
yeah,
But
yeah.
what would you really trim in this episode besides like the long dance party bit? Because
I mean, the long dance party bit is what you trim because it's too long.
Yeah, you
Even
trim
if
like
you-
most of the dance party, and you trim like some of the like you make the middle segment of the jellyfish having a wild
Breaking
party be a
stuff,
little more
yeah.
lean. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
even then, not much happens that's
Yeah.
worth cutting around for.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Really
I
should
mean,
just write
yeah,
it.
but then it makes the beginning and the ending longer, and those are the best parts of the episode. So
Yeah, it'd
if
improve it
those
that way.
take up more of the episode's percentage, then it's a better episode.
Really,
in my
I think they should do
opinion-
like. But you go first.
Okay. In my opinion, the episode should have been. So they started it with like SpongeBob captures the jellyfish, puts it on a leash, goes to Squidward, right? And he's like, "You can't keep that as a pet. It's a wild animal, or whatever." And I think they should have leaned into that more and had like a montage of like, "Oh, SpongeBob's taking it for a walk in Bikini Bottom or whatever," and it like stings
Yeah.
someone, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit," and he takes it home and it like messes up the house, and it's like, "Oh no," or he like whatever, and he realizes, "Oh wait,"
Yeah.
and
I
he just
feel like
releases it back.
It feels like they got like hung up on the like wild animals throwing wild parties wordplay that they kind of
Yeah.
formed the episode around it, and it isn't like funny and it doesn't carry an episode.
We didn't
I
need
feel
the
like
rave.
what you were describing about SpongeBob adopting a wild animal as a pet and it like causing bedlam through Bikini Bottom is just what they did in the My Pretty Seahorse episode.
Oh my
Oh,
god, you're so
true.
right.
True.
Shit,
yeah.
you're
I didn't
right,
even think
yeah.
about that. I was gonna say they should make an episode where SpongeBob like adopts a pet that he
Oh
thinks
shit,
is
and
really
this
cute.
reminds me of a
but
point
then
I was gonna make
Hey,
earlier.
I'm talking,
which-
Jasmine. I'm talking.
Sorry.
Is adopt a pet he thinks is cute, but then actually it starts picking on Gary, but SpongeBob doesn't believe it because he thinks the pet is really cute. The pet turns out to be a bit of a monster.
I think that'd be a great episode. I think
Yeah,
I think
actually,
I'd
it would
love
be
to
really
watch that
good. They should
episode.
make that. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, they should make that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was gonna bring up, because I forgot to mention this earlier, but Hall Monitor feels to me like good shuffleboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they have sort of a similar
Yeah.
structure where you have like the premise, and then they don't really do the premise because in one they already did the shuffleboarding contest, and in the other, SpongeBob's speech is so long he has no time to be the hall monitor. So instead, it's SpongeBob and Patrick wacky crime fighting shenanigans for the rest of the episode, except in Hall Monitor, it's actually funny.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Both episodes boil down to SpongeBob gets an outfit that gives him a power trip.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really something I'd thought of before, but
Yeah,
it
interesting
occurred to me that
parallels.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry we had to end this episode off on such a sour note, but what are we gonna watch next time that will hopefully be better?
This. No.
We're not watching Burnfleet.
We're gonna be watching Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots. Both very notable episodes, I think.
I'm
It will be a
excited for
fun
both
time.
of them.
We get another Sandy episode. She's not really in it much, but it's a Sandy episode. We get the debut of the other girl character, and also the first actual Mr. Krabs episode.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. I think both of them are pretty funny.
Yeah,
Mhm.
excited to see them again.
yeah, these aren't episodes I've seen in a hot minute, so like, I'm interested to see how I feel about them.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So tune into that when we do that.
Extry, read all about it. Podcasters Review Squeaky Boot episode.
Here you go, friends. Arm yourselves with knowledge.